So anyway, we're addressing the line 1101 issue. I'm logging on to the user's machine locally with LogMeIn. And the reason I do it on their machine instead of just on my own or whatever is because sometimes it doesn't work without that. Now, are you in the file, Andy?
I'm currently in the file.
Okay, so RP20374, which I see right here.
Yes, sir.
And the issue is the HUD. So the first thing that I do with this is I go to Start Computer, and then I go to the S drive, where I've saved the batch script called AIM templates delete replace. This does a few things, one of which is it kills the excel.exe process task, and it deletes some of his AIM template files. So I'm going to run that. I like to run it twice just in case. And then I close that window, and now I'm going to go into the HUD. It's probably on the other screen. So now I get this message: the disbursement worksheet is out of balance. You must balance the blah, blah, blah. So I hit OK. First thing I do is rush off to HUD page 2, which you can see I'm cursoring over. And now 1101. Now, the first thing we notice about 1101 is, since I'm clicked on that cell, is that this is typically a formula, and there's no formula in there. Now, in this particular HUD, there's no figures all over in here. Where I'm clicking, there's sometimes people have figures. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll take these figures, and like say there's like a figure right here. I'll click on that, and then I'll hit this button which says Clear HUD Line Data, and take the figures out of this area from 1101 to 1113. Because sometimes that has a play in corrupting this cell. Now, if I click on this cell right now, another thing that can be a problem is sometimes up here you'll see a checkbox that says include from line 703 or some verbiage like that. If that shows, you know immediately that that's a problem. But I think that that problem was corrected when I ran the batch script. So I'm going to get out of here. And here's an interesting thing you might notice. There's a 290 in here. But that figure would normally be reflected here, but you got a 0, so something's whacked. So I'm going to go up to Tools, Macros, or you can hit Alt F8, and this window will come up. We're looking for unprotect sheets, so I drag this down to here because I know it's around here, and I don't like to scroll forever. I highlight where I see unprotect sheets right here. I run it, and then up here I put equals plus S129, and then you can't see the checkbox to make that official, but if you hover, you will, right there. Then I hit the checkbox. Now you see the 290 figure, but that's clearly not correct. So I open it, and I hit 0, and I hit OK. I check to make sure that line thing is gone, and this HUD is more than likely corrected at this point. Now, if you click here again after doing that, because sometimes this will happen, and this formula is not in here anymore, well, then you just go back and do the same thing again. You go into the macros and do the whole process with unprotect sheets one more time, and it should be corrected at that point. Now, Andy,
yes, sir.
Does this HUD seem corrected? Is there something that you can do to confirm that it's fine?
Let me go here, 290, 450, here. I'll save it. 740. It looks like it's correct. Yes, sir.
Now, see, there's a figure over here. The HUD is already corrected. However, if it was not, this is one of those figures I was mentioning that before I do anything with the macros, I would take that figure and delete it right here. That is the end of this particular troubleshooting tutorial for line 1101.
Good work, George.
Thanks. Talk to you later, Andy.
Thanks.